The summer was coming to an end, and I was becoming more and more worried about my first year middle school, especially because I was new to the district.
I had met a friend that summer named Teresa. I knew she was going to Whitewater, and I was hoping she would be on my team. I found out she wasn't. I knew I was going to have to make new friends.
It was the morning of the first day of 6th grade, and I was struggling to get my locker open when I noticed another girl was too. I quickly glanced at her locker once it finally opened, and I saw she had a chandelier, a rug, a miniature trash can, and magnet wallpaper. I kept my thoughts to myself and proceeded to gather my things and head to homeroom. As soon as I found a seat, the bell rang, so everyone else sat down too.
I finally got my locker open when the bell rang to start homeroom. I ran and tried to sneak into the class unnoticed. When I noticed there was only one desk open next to this really frizzy-haired girl.
I looked around to see if there was an empty seat, but the only seat open was next to me, so I knew that girl had to sit next to me.
Seeing my only other option was to sit on the floor, I sat next to her and scooted my desk over, hoping she wouldn't notice. When we were dismissed, I went to science and I noticed she'd followed me, and she sat next to me.
There were only 2 teachers on our team, so I knew all my classes were going to be one or the other. Going over my schedule, I realized my first period was in the other class, so once we were dismissed, I made my way to science. I happened to notice the girl that sat next to me was also going next door. I hope she did not think I was following her. I decided since we already had homeroom in our first class together, I might as well try to get to know her. Sitting next to her at the long table, I said, "Hey."
"Oh hey, what's your name?" She seemed to be really nice.
To my surprise, she responded without hesitation, but what shocked me the most is that her voice was like, "Theodore from Alvin and the Chipmunks." I then responded, "I'm Morgan. What's your name?"
I'm Mikela. Over the next few weeks, our friendship began to blossom. Turns out we both went to the same church and both enjoyed orchestra. Not only that, but our moms became best friends too. They now go out at least once a week to drink alcohol and get Mexican food. Fast forward a couple years, bam, we're best friends.
Just like the story of the iceberg, we are only seeing the 10% of each other rather than the 90% below the surface.